Hey guys, welcome ladies, gentlemen, Steve Buscemi. So today is another musical mukbang, and today I was really struggling to find something. I have to find food that I like, that can be delivered, that's not too expensive, but don't worry, I will be getting other things, totally new things, once life subtly goes a little bit back to normal. So today I have Smashburger. I have a double classic smash and some fries. So yeah, and today we're going to be talking about Wedding Singer. Wedding Singer is a really good show. It's based on the movie The Wedding Singer, so if you know the plot, you pretty much know the plot of the musical, but I'm going to tell you guys anyways, because I really like the musical, and why not, ho? Sit back, get a snack. There's a snack right here. I'm sorry. Sit back, get a snack, get some popcorn, get a burger and fries, get Smashburger. Or better yet, get a burger from a local restaurant. I tried to do that and DoorDash said that an error occurred. So I was like, okay, I give up. Let's begin, shall we? Okay. So the story starts in New Jersey.
So I forgot to add, it's a very pivotal thing that it takes place in the 80s. So remember that. It takes place in the 80s.
There's a guy named Robbie Hart, and he's a wedding singer, hence the name.
So funny.
And him and his band are playing a wedding gig. Now at this wedding gig, he says, guess what guys? I don't only sing at weddings, I'm going to be part of a wedding soon. You guessed it, I'm getting hitched. So he announces that he's getting married the next day. At this wedding gig, he meets this waitress named Julia. Now, Julia Sullivan, after hearing that this guy's getting married and being at a wedding, she has total wedding fever, you know? And I relate on a spiritual level because you show me one episode of Say Yes to the Dress. I know the venue, the bridesmaid dresses, the ring. I know everything, sis. So, honestly, me too, Julia. But she just talks about how excited she is for that one day when maybe she gets married. So, Robbie's getting married the next day. And while he meets Julia, he wants to write like this song for Linda, which is his fiance, and Julia like helps him out with it. I don't think this is like in the plot of the movie, but it is in the musical. So now, the next day at the wedding, Robbie goes and sadly gets left at the altar. And of course, he's crushed, you know. That's horrible. So when he gets left at the altar, he sees like this little like note or letter or whatever that Linda, his fiance, left for him. And so in the letter or note or whatever, it's basically like, oh, when we started dating, like I was under the impression that you wanted like bigger, grander things. You were going to be a rock star, you know. I want to be married to a rock star, not a wedding singer. So obviously, Robbie's upset. He gets depressed. While this is happening, Julia, the waitress at the wedding the day before, she goes on a date with her boyfriend Glenn Gluia. I don't give a shit enough to know. I think it's Gluia. But anyways, so she goes on a date with him, hoping that he'll propose because she has wedding fever. She was just at a wedding. The wedding singer at the wedding is having a wedding. She's like, I am ready, sis, to walk down that aisle and say, I do. I am prepared. Let's go. And so he proposes to her. Robbie's depressed, obviously. He was just left on an altar, which I'm assuming is traumatic. But he lives with his grandma. And so his grandma, his bandmates, they're like, look, writing all these depressing songs about how you want to kill yourself. You need to just live on. Life goes on, my guy. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep moving on. Listen to Fifth Harmony. Miss moving on. Let's go. He's like, okay. So then he plays a wedding. But obviously he's been left at the altar. He's not really in the lovey-dovey mood. And so he starts yelling at the whole, wedding. Talking about how love isn't real. Just basically shitting on everything. And so a fight erupts, everyone gets mad at him, and he ends up in a dumpster behind the wedding venue. Now, one of the waitresses again is Julia, and she tries to comfort him. She's like, hey, I'm sorry, I heard what happened, that's horrible, but gotta get out of the dumpster, and you gotta stop being so depressed. We gotta get over this, buddy. We gotta get over this. So, while she's helping him get over it, she's like, you're a wedding singer. I'm getting married. Why don't you sing at my wedding? And he's like, no. Because he's depressed. He doesn't like weddings. He doesn't like love. He's me, honestly. He says no, and he decides, you know what? My heart can't handle this. If I'm to continue having a career, I have to, now, me and my band have to play at solely bar mitzvahs. Because if I sing at a wedding, it's not going to turn out good. So now, Julia and Robbie are friends. And because she's getting married, she's like, can you come help me register for some things? Because her boyfriend's a business guy, has a lot of money, he works in the city, he's just, that kind of guy. So he doesn't really have time to help out with the wedding. So because her and Robbie are kind of friends now, she asks him to come and help her. That's good. I love Smashburger. I stand by the statement that Smashburger has the best burgers. I just really do. That was so good. Have a bite. Go, nom 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 nom. While Robbie and Julia are at the mall, they run into Julia's best friend / cousin, Holly. Now, Holly and Julia fall into this discussion about, their wedding kiss. Because, when the priest is like, you may now kiss the bride, they discuss what kind of kiss is appropriate, not appropriate, stuff like that. So, Holly's like, okay, on Robbie, show me how a wedding kiss should be. And then Julia's like, and Robbie's like, I mean, unless. They kiss. And it's not a practice kiss. It's From how I just described kissing, you would think I've never kissed someone, but I have. I'm just weird. So after seeing them kiss, Holly's like, he's kind of cute. The kiss gets interrupted because they realize, this is a kiss she's practicing to get married to someone else. And then Holly goes to Julia and she's like,
Homeboy's gonna get it.
Julia, she really is in no place to tell Holly not to try to get Robbie because Robbie's not her boyfriend. She's getting married, So she's like, okay. And Holly's like, I'm gonna go for it. And Julia's like, okay. So then they have a double date basically at a club. They have a double date. And so on the double date, things are moving along. Holly's still trying to get into Robbie's pants. And so during this whole club, Robbie sees that Glenn, Julia's fiance, isn't exactly a nice guy. Before this, he had never like met him, you know? But now at this point, he's like realizing he's kind of a dick because he's like hitting on the waitresses, talking about girls' asses, like. And then Robbie's like, this guy's not nice. Hoes ain't loyal, you know? That's how Robbie feels. And so then he realizes, like, you know what? Julia shouldn't be with this guy. She should be with me. And so he realizes that, and on this double date, you know, things happen. Holly's like realizing that Robbie's not really into her. Robbie's into Julia. So Robbie and her are talking, and she's like, you know what? It doesn't even matter that you like her or anything, because Julia's only really marrying him not to have a guy who's faithful, but because he's rich. Because, you know, as I said before, he's like a big corporate guy. And then Robbie's like, nah, I think she a gold digger. So then he has an idea that maybe if he tries to further his career, not in the wedding singer way, but like corporate way, big business job, maybe he'll have the security that Julia wants. A pickle. A glorious pickle. Intermission happens. End of Act 1. Act 2 starts, and in Act 2, Robbie goes to visit Glenn at his like big job, and he's like talking to him, trying to get advice, pick his brain, because he knows, well, he doesn't know, but he's under the impression that that's what's gonna win over Julia, you know? And so he's talking to him, and Glenn's just total tool. He's got all of his morals upside down, backwards, and in 3D. All he talks about is like money and sex and stuff like that. And he's acting like he's helping Robbie with like the professional thing, when really it's not even about having money. It's his like mantra, how he acts, the way he lives his life. While this is happening, Julia and Holly are like hanging out, and Holly's telling her about what happened, like with her and Robbie, because Julia's like, oh, didn't you like him? Didn't you want to get with him? Because, you know, she doesn't really want them to get together because she kind of likes Robbie, you know? And so Holly tells her that, I forget what she says, but she basically like is like, oh, I told Robbie that you like Glenn for his security, stuff like that. That's why I told him. And Julia's like, what? And Julia kind of has like this mini identity crisis, like, do I actually love Glenn, or like, is this all about security and money and all that stuff? Like, she's starting to question her relationship. This guy, Sammy, who kind of likes Holly, goes to like try to hit on Holly and get her to date him. And Holly's like, no. But then she starts thinking about it, and she's like, you know what? I tried with Robbie. Why don't I give this bitch a break? Like, Sammy could be good for me. And so, that's the whole thing. And that is kind of like parallel, because Robbie goes to Julia and he's trying to like do that. He's like trying to hit on her and stuff like that. And when it's not working, he throws it in her face that she's marrying Glenn for his money. And she gets upset, you know, that's like, he's basically calling her a gold digger. And so she had a present for him. It was blank sheet music, since he likes music. But because he said that, she throws the sheet music in his face and storms off dramatically. Robbie's like, ah, shit, what'd I do? And so, sorry if the camera changed a little bit. I had to change the battery, and I think that moved, like, the positioning. Robbie goes to the bar to, like, drink his worries away, blah, 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 blah. Sam and Georgie come, try to convince him, like, buddy, you don't need her. Single is the life, my friend. Go be single. Go forth, my son. But that makes him want to see Julia more. So then he starts going to her house. Now while this is happening, Julia's trying on her wedding dress with her mom there. And while she's trying it on, she's starting to have some doubts. And she starts talking about how if they got married, her name would be Julia Gulia. And I think we can all admit that that is stupid. And so she starts to pretend like as if she would marry, as if she was marrying Robbie. And she starts getting all happy in the mirror. She's like, "Ugh, I'm Mrs. Julia Hart." And so Robbie walks by, sees how happy she is, and thinks that she's happy because she's marrying Glenn. Can there stop be like a policeman? Like, what's going on? He's like, you know what? She's happy. Let me move on out. While he's going back, he runs into Glenn on his bachelor party. And he's being a little cheating hoe. Robbie, he's like, what the hell is this? And then he's like, oh, don't tell Julia. You wouldn't tell Julia, would her? Like, that would break her heart. And he's just being a tool. Oh. So when Robbie was asking for work before, Glenn like hired him because, you know, he was friends with Julia and stuff. But when he yells at him for cheating and tells him to stop cheating because, you know, Julia really loves him, then Glenn gets mad and fires him. And so he's drunk, he's sad, he's upset, he feels bruised. So he goes home and sees Linda. Bum, bum, bum. Linda's in his room and she's like, I'm so sorry. And she's trying to apologize, but before she can like really apologize, he's tired, he's drunk, he just passes out. And she's like, okay. The next morning, Julia's like, I'm a dumb bitch. I'm going to tell Robbie how I feel. So she goes over to his house, knocks on the door, and guess who opens it? Just guess. It's Linda. And obviously, Julia knows who she is, not by face, but she knows that that's his ex-fiance. And you know, it looks very sus. And Julia's like, Julia runs back home. She probably took a car. I don't know why I'm saying run, like she walked or something. Okay, so she goes back home, and the thought that, you know, Robbie's back with Linda, he's not going to be with her, scares her into eloping with Glenn. She's like, let's elope in Las Vegas. And Glenn's like, go off, sis. Robbie wakes up, he sees Linda, he's like, get out, ho. And so when she gets out, then he goes to his grandma's 50th anniversary, and he's like, let me just forget all of this. And Holly's there, and then Holly tells Robbie what happened. She's like, I don't know what happened, but Julia went to your house, and she saw Linda there, and now she's gonna elope with Glenn in Las Vegas and be a dumbass. There's a dog hair on my burger. I'm not attacking Smashburger. It's 100% my dog. He goes on a plane to Las Vegas to stop Julia and Glenn from getting married. And so, oh, the pickle. So, You know how in Vegas they have like celebrity impersonators? He gets all these celebrity impersonators to help him out to like crash the wedding. And so he crashes the wedding and starts singing to her. And so cute, you know, adorable. So then while this is all happening, Glenn is like, bitch, what? How? Glenn, in classic douchery, is like, you know what? I don't give a rat's ass. I cheated on you with like 9 million girls. And then when the impersonators that have been helping out Robbie hear this, they're like, excuse me? And so they all attack him. Oh. So then Robbie gets down on one knee and he's like, will you marry me? And she's like, on one condition. And he's like, what? Anything, baby girl. And she's like, sing at my wedding. Because in the beginning, she asked him to sing at her wedding with Glenn. He said no. So now at her like real wedding, she wants him to sing. Suck you. And he's like, yes. And then they get married. He sings at their wedding. And it's adorable. The musical and the movie are pretty much the same thing. They have some differences. I think in the movie, Robbie just goes off to become a corporate something. But he doesn't end up like working for Glenn. There's no like the Vegas impersonators in the movie. It's just on the plane. But both are really good. Watch the movie. Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, Billy Idol. And the musical has Laura Benanti. And then that's all I care about. It's just Laura Benanti. I hope you guys liked the video. Like always, listen to the soundtrack, watch it, tell me what you think. Tell me if you like it better than the movie, if you like it worse than a movie, if you want me to die, please share that as well. I hope you guys have had a great time here with me. If you didn't, feel free to sue. So like I said, you can always comment down what musical plots you want to do. I might get to some musicals before others. It just depends if I know the musical plot well enough to just pick up a camera and do it. But like I said, I do this once a month. I hope you guys like it. Love you guys. Stay safe. Stay safe. I'm gonna kill myself. Stay safe. Bye guys.